Welcome to class 10th, Transportation. In previous class I have told you about how the multicellular organisms, example in human beings and other higher animals, how there is a transport of food substances as well as oxygen as well as carbon dioxide takes place. And when we observe plants, they are also multicellular, but they show different in their living conditions, and they do not show any kind of movement, how the animals move from one place to other place for search of food materials. And compared to animals, plants, they need a less amount of energy for carrying out a transportation process, and they do not have a specific organs also. And so for that purpose they have a different types of a group of cells for movement of food materials and exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and also for movement of minerals. And these cells are grouped in a particular place in the plants. They are distributed in the roots, stem, leaves, and they are meant for transportation of the food materials as well as minerals resources, and also water and also some of the hormones which are produced inside the plants. And what are those cells? Those are nothing but food conducting tissue, and those we call as phloem. And this is distributed throughout the plant in the roots, stem as well as leaf. Whatever the food is prepared in the plant, it has to be transported, right? Otherwise the plant cannot survive. If the food whichever is prepared after photosynthesis process, if it is stored in leaves only, what will happen? Plants will not grow properly. So it has to be transported from the leaves to the roots and branches and other parts of the plant for its healthy growth. So that food conducting tissue, it is present in the leaves, roots as well as stem part, and that is having a different types of cells. Those are sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. These are the forming one particular group in the plant. Whatever the food is prepared in the plant, that is distributed throughout the plant body from the leaves to the branches as well as to the roots. It takes place in a two-way direction, bidirectional. And that process in which the organic food materials is transported from the leaves to the other parts of the plant, that process we call as a translocation. Movement of organic food material inside the plant from the leaves to the other parts. Understood? And there are another type of tissue which is distributed in the plant only, but that is only meant for transportation of water as well as minerals. That is called as water conducting tissue, that we call as xylem. It is also a transporting cell or a tissue. It is also grouped into different cells. They are grouped together to perform a particular function in the plant. That is xylem. And in that there are four types: tracheids, trachea, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. In this, what happens? Trachea, it is also called as xylem vessels. These are long tubular structures, and they are meant for transportation of water and mineral salts from the roots to the all over the plant body. And these are distributed in the throughout the plant in the stem and roots. And in what way these xylem will transport the water and minerals? That is taking place in three steps. Those are transportation of water. First step is absorption of water and minerals. Water and minerals, they are absorbed by the root cells, and inside the roots there are small minute thread-like structures are present, that we call as root hairs. They will absorb the water and the minerals from the salt, and due to which some pressure is created in the roots, and from the roots the water is absorbed with the help of root hairs, and that will transport to the xylem tissue which is present in the root. And after that a column is created. In that, water is forming a pressure gradient, and that makes the pulling of the water, due to which water is moved in the upward direction in the first step, absorption of water and minerals. Understood? Second one is upward movement of water and minerals. Once the water is absorbed by the root hairs and xylem, it is transported to xylem by the help of a simple diffusion process, and that what happens means Once the water is absorbed, it is transported to the stem as well as a leaf and the branches. So that will create a kind of a transpiration pull. One kind of pull is means pressure is created in between the xylem tissue as well as the root cells, and that will make the movement of the water in the upward direction towards the stem. That is the second step. Third step is transpiration. Transpiration means when the excess of water is present in the plant, that is removed out with the help of stomata cells and in the form of a water vapor, not liquid. Water is absorbed. How much it is required, that is taken up by the plants, but remaining quantity of water, it is removed from the plant body with the help of stomata cells present in the leaves. And that process of removal of excess of water in the form of water vapor, that process we call as transpiration. Understood? This transpiration, what it is helpful? It is helpful in absorption of water from the roots as well as transportation of water and minerals throughout the plant body. These three steps are mainly involved in the transportation of water. Clear? This is done by xylem tissue. It is a water conducting tissue. First of all, root absorbs the water and minerals are taken up by the root hairs, and continuously water and minerals, they are absorbed from the root hairs. From root hairs, it will transport to the xylem tissue which is present in the roots. That is first step. Once the water and minerals are transported, they will create a kind of pressure in the roots, and a column is created in between these cells, tracheids. They are the tube-like structures, and they will make a concentration. When it is increased water concentration, it will become more pressure is created, due to which there is a upward movement of water and minerals takes place. And third step is transpiration. Means whatever the water and minerals are absorbed, they are distributed throughout the plant. Transpiration is excess water is removed in the form of water vapor, but remaining whatever water is necessary, no, that is further transported, and also along with that minerals are also transported. These are the three steps of transport of water. Similarly, there are different types of cells which are involved in the respiration. I have already told about stomata cells. They are involved in the intake of oxygen and exhale of carbon dioxide in the plants, and along with that lenticels are also present in the stem part, which are in the hard woody stem. Those lenticels are also helpful in exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. Along with that, roots, they also play important role in transportation. So overall, conducting tissues like xylem and phloem, along with that roots, lenticels, stomata cells are also involved in the exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and also in the transportation of materials inside the plant. As humans and animals, plants do not have a specific organ for the transportation, and it does not have a particular conducting fluid, but instead it is having a different group of cells for transportation process. Understood? Xylem and phloem, they help in mainly transportation of water and minerals, and also food, whatever it is prepared in the plant during photosynthesis. And remaining these cells, roots, stomata, lenticels, they also play important role in the exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and also in the transportation of hormones, in the transportation of hormones and food, phloem tissue. Water and minerals, xylem tissue. Exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, these three, lenticels, stomata and roots, they mainly play important role in the transportation process. And this is all about the transportation of water, food, minerals, and also chemicals like hormones, which are synthesized in the plants for its growth and metabolic activity. Those hormones are also essential. Those hormones are synthesized in the cells in the plants. Those are also transported from one part of the plant to the other part by the help of a phloem tissue. And that process in which organic food and chemicals are overall distributed and overall they are transported, that process we call as a translocation. Don't get confused. Transpiration is different, translocation is different. Transpiration means removal of excess of water in the form of water vapor. That is done by stomata cells. present in the leaves. Okay. Translocation means it is the process of transport of organic food material along with the hormones which are prepared in the plants by the help of a phloem tissue. This is about the transportation in plants. Understood? And these play very important role in the maintaining the metabolic activity of the plants. And in the next classes you all will be studying about excretion process. Okay, thank you.